Candy Cartier. I am Tammy's older sister. I'm in a unique situation because we built a house with my parents 19 years ago. My husband and I have 2 boys. We live together with my parents and Tammy, so I'm in a unique situation as a sibling, as a caregiver, and so Keely is going to introduce herself, but we've just put together a little presentation. We're going to be asking our adult JdVS champions some questions, get some feedback for you guys, so I hope that you guys enjoy it.
Thanks, Candy. So I will say Candy and I have a few things in common we have figured out. I think we might have some superpowers as older sisters of people with JdVS. I might have found my new best friend over here. My name is Keely Sarakti, and my sister is Molly. And I think I'm going to share this fact because she always shares it first. But Molly was...
I'm wearing a necklace to show them about you.
Oh, she's wearing a necklace that I gave her, maybe. But Molly was born on my 6th birthday, September 19th, and I had to cancel my birthday party when I was 6. And my birthday's never really been about me since then, as you can imagine. But we have a lot of fun on our birthday. And we learned that Jackson shares our same birthday. Sean's brother is also born on September 19th. Did you know that, Molly? I live in Chicago, and Molly lives in Durango, Colorado. And I am what's called Molly's authorized representative through a program called CDOS, which I never remember what that stands for. Consumer Directed something. So we are in the process, I'm in the process of kind of leading with my mom, our family, through the transition as my parents age, and we can talk a lot more about that tomorrow at one of the roundtables around figuring out the future, right? So I help Molly a lot from afar, right, Molly? And before we get started, I want to, Michael, if you could, we have a little video from Javier, who lives in Spain, and he wanted to share a little video with us. You have to listen pretty hard because he's speaking in English, which is not his first language. So let's see what Javier has to say.
Hola, Javier. Ali, Ivan, Ariel, 17. Me, Zoom. Adiós.
Did you catch that? He said, "We will meet soon. Adios." And I also, before we get started, Bradley's mom, Elizabeth, is very sad because she couldn't be with us this weekend. So I just have a little note to read from Elizabeth Jacobs. She says, "Dear JdVS community, I'm sorry I am unable to join you for our first family summit. I know it will be a meaningful weekend, and I will look forward to meeting you at future events. Believe it or not, you are blessed by having the JdVS diagnosis. We did not know the cause of our son's challenges until he was 25. And when we finally got the JdVS diagnosis, we were so relieved to have an explanation. Your knowing early is a gift. While each JdVS child has his or her own constellation of presenting issues, we know that they all face a myriad of physical, emotional, academic, and behavioral challenges. When the children are young, these issues loom large with no visible progress in sight. But with best practice interventions, patience, hard work, and time, please know that progress will take place. It just takes time. Have hope and appreciate and love your child and the unique way they see and experience the world. They will take you to places and people you never would have imagined seeing or meeting, and people will appreciate their special gifts." From Elizabeth Jacobs, Bradley's mom. So we're going to do a little round of introductions. So we're going to have Bradley. Why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself?
My name is Bradley. I'm 31. I live in New York, and I live independently.
I'm Molly. I'm from Durango, and I'm 44, and I live independently too.
I'm Tammy Noel. I live in Orlando, Florida. I'm 4. I just sat on Saturday. I turned the big 40. And I also live with my mom, my dad, my sister, and my 2 nephews and her husband.
All right. I don't. We went. Good, we were off, sorry. I don't know that talking's going to be an issue, but we decided we're going to do a little this or that to get our group here warmed up. So I'm going to start with, are you, Bradley, a morning person or a night owl?
Both.
A night owl.
A night owl.
Okay, and do you prefer hot weather or cold weather?
Neither.
Neither.
Hot weather or cold weather?
In Orlando, isn't it always hot?
I like it hot.
All right. This one needs no explanation. Loud or quiet?
Obviously loud.
Loud, sometimes it depends, and then I like it quiet.
I like it loud.
And sweet, do you prefer sweet or salty?
Both.
Sweet.
Salty. I like everything salty, not sweet.
Okay. Do we prefer talking on the phone or watching TV?
Talking on the phone while watching TV.
Both.
Talking on the phone or watching TV?
Talking on the phone.
How about dog or cat?
Dog.
I have a cat, Jasper.
I have both. We have a cat and we have a dog and 2 cats.
All right. How about hugs or high fives?
Both.
I prefer high fives.
I prefer hugs. No, I prefer hugs, not high fives.
And reading or math?
Neither.
Neither.
Reading or math?
Reading.
And last but not least, do we prefer sunshine or rainy days?
Both.
Sunshine.
Sunshine.
Okay, so we're going to dive into our first topic, which is all about school. How many people raise your hand if you are in school right now? Okay, lots of people in school. So, Bradley, I'm wondering if you can think back to when you were in school and what was your favorite part about being in school?
I liked discovering myself in each of the chapters of my schooling.
Molly, how about you?
Woodworking and art was especially my favorite, and that's all.
What was your favorite part about school, Tammy? Do you need me to prompt you about something you shared last night?
Yes.
You played volleyball, maybe? Was that one of your favorites?
I used to, in high school, I used to be the Victorian on the volleyball team in high school. And I also I'm also a good bowler. yesterday or whenever, we took a trip to the bowling alley. I brought my own bowling ball.
She drug a ball from Orlando
Yeah.
all the way here.
So-
So, Bradley, I'm wondering, the reverse of that question is, what was something challenging about being in school?
Anxiety and my health was getting in the way, and I think just sometimes just figuring things out, and sometimes you have to go through the ugly to get to the beautiful side of things.
Yeah. How about you, Molly?
I got sick a lot in high school. I got teased with the R word, if you know what that is, and it was really difficult for me because I didn't like CVS as well as mostly out of school a lot. So, yeah.
So CVS stands for cyclic vomiting syndrome, and Molly grew up in the 80s and 90s, and people still used what Molly said is the R word, which we're not going to say. But she really did not like that when people called her that. How about you, Tammy?
What is that? Oh, yes. I with that note is, I get sick very easily.
And was that hard because you had to miss a lot of school?
Yeah, yes, it was. When I started school, I had the nurse or the doctor had to call my mother about every day or night, saying, "Hey, your daughter is sick. Can you come get her?" And after a while, we finally found a medicine that works a lot too, and I'm good with it.
That's great. So I have a question just for Bradley, because you had kind of a unique high school experience, and I'm wondering if you can tell us about your high school experience at a boarding school.
So I lived at school all year round, so they really taught us different classes that catered to what we needed. So, I think being at school, you're exposed to people from all over the world, and having a roommate and different kinds of experiences, I think, was beautiful because it's just a learning experience.
Okay, so now we're going to talk about some activities and hobbies. And to start off with, I want you guys to think back to when you were younger, when you were a child, Bradley. What were some kind of activities or hobbies that you like to participate in?
Magnetiles, trains, Lincoln Logs, and Hot Wheels.
I used to play with dolls and Legos a lot, and in my childhood in Elm Grove, Wisconsin.
This is horseback riding, right? Okay. I knew this. I used to when I was like you guys, I used to compete in horseback riding. My mom had to go up to the judge and tell her I was in the kid category, and she says, and they said okay. They had to move me up to the adult level, and guess what? I won that by it all. And there's also I learned I was on what's the
Dressage.
not yeah, the what we
Informations. You did formation.
yeah. I did information on horseback riding.
Okay, so now that you guys are adults, I think you probably have some new hobbies or new things that you're doing. So, Bradley, what is a new hobby, or how do you enjoy spending your time?
Making friends, making jewelry, a social butterfly, and going back to the beginning, the reason I said not sleeping in is because I'm so busy. So basically, no sleep.
Playing with my kitty at home. I like to knit, watch movies, do bowling, basketball, and yeah.
What do you like to do now, Tammy?
Oh, yes, yeah. Every Tuesday night, I'm on a bowling league. And sorry, Mom, I'm going to embarrass you. Just warning. On our Tuesday night bowling league, sorry to say, throwing Mommy under the bus right now, she bowls really bad. I beat her every now and then. Love you, Mommy. Bye.
Okay, so we think that there's probably a lot of questions about whether or not any of you drive or how you get around, since I know Bradley and Molly, you said that you live independently, right? So Bradley, I'm really curious, how do you get to places? Do you have your driver's license?
I have a driver's license, but I don't drive because New York is crazy. I take the bus to work, and everything's walkable, so I can walk or take Ubers or public transportation.
That's great. Molly, how do you get around Durango, Colorado?
I have an annual pass on a bus, and then my mom takes me, or I get rides if it's not icy in the winter.
How do I get around is by my family, by my sister, by my mom and dad. If they can't take me, my brother-in-law or my oldest nephew, he got his permit.
All right, so now we're going to talk about their work experience. So I want you guys to think back to maybe when you were in high school or your early jobs. Can you tell us about any job training or an early job that you participated in?
In my college program in Illinois, I worked at a downtown business bureau, and I learned what my interests was community. And so it really taught me the value of, a strong community and community building and, just the network of people and what that means and what that brings. And so that set me up for, the future.
Good. And Molly, you had an early, I think did you work at a restaurant early on? Will you tell us about that?
I worked at Federal because it's like a hamburger place. I was a bus girl. I did not like it because of the meat in front of the building, and I felt kind of nasty of doing that. But if you know, it was a butcher thing, and I told them I complained, and I said, why don't you take it out and have some like chef cooking? So, and then I did a laundry job in Chicago. That was interesting. I didn't like that either.
No.
You were volunteering?
Oh, yes. I was volunteering at an animal clinic, and I see this person. Don't be grossed out. This is not. It's a kind of a gross thing, but please don't be grossed out. But I used to help my friend when the dogs or cats come out of anesthesia. I would go help them. And then after that, guess what? I had to watch baby an alligator.
She got to babysit a baby alligator.
And it was interesting.
Yes.
Very.
So now I think you guys all three are working. So why don't you tell us about what you do currently for a job?
I'm a part-time screen printer. I'm a production assistant, and I make T-shirts and do what my job at Spectrum Designs wants me to do.
I work at Office Depot, and I had a mentor that left. And I'm a stock person at Office Depot for 4 years. And I haven't been lately because of the trucks closed down. And I can't go to work if there's no work. And then I'm looking for an animal job eventually, too.
How can I start that off? I've been working at my job I want to give me a round of applause in a little bit when I say it, please, because it's huge. at my job, I've been working at Publix for 15, I'm not almost there, but not quite yet. 15 years, but I had an anniversary. Thank you. Also, I am also a bagger at my job, Publix. I've been doing, and also I do Instacart. That means take people out to their cars or something like that. Also, outside I have cart duties too. When I clock in, I usually write down my time for lunch, and then I go do my stuff. And then after that, outside, you can take tips. Inside, we gotta say no, thank you, because it's not allowed.
I bet you like going outside to get tips, right, Tammy?
Yes. Oh, can I add something else?
Go ahead, add something else.
Last year, several years, I've been getting a lot of gift cards. At least 2 of them were $25. Rest of them was $100.
Publix was really great. She worked the entire pandemic, and Publix was wonderful to them. So through the whole pandemic, almost every month, they were giving them gift cards because they were working so hard, and they were really, really wonderful during it.
Okay, so we're going to move to another topic. I'm going to use a big word called advocacy, right? So I think all 3 of you have been really amazing advocates for people with disabilities and for yourself. And so I'm curious if you can tell us what kind of advocacy work you have done.
In the past couple months ago, I was on a committee with people who have developmental disabilities, and we were talking about, what needs to be done in society and the world to make it a more equal, safer place for everybody. And we were talking. I was talking about being a leader and what does that mean, and leading by example. And so talking about that really brought the attention is that, we are all leaders in what we do, and really emphasizing the word leader, because I think as somebody that has JdVS, I think being able to own it and, yeah.
That's great, Bradley. Molly, can you tell us a little bit about some things you've done to maybe speak for people who maybe don't speak as well as you? You talk about how you speak for people who don't have a voice.
I speak for people with disabilities, and then I do this exercise program in the lab, and I did talk to people about my disability, and it was really cool. You do exercise science with them, and I help with the streets in my neighborhood because the streets are not level for wheelchairs and everything, and I'm really concerned because you can't have a low-income house. It's a problem for people with disabilities because of the homeless, and I feel, yeah.
So you've spoken to the Durango City Council to try to improve Durango for people with disabilities, and you spoke at the when you lived in Wisconsin. What did you do? Did you speak at the State House?
I can't remember.
You can't really remember, but I know you did that.
Yes, I did. Yes, I did.
I used to do Special Olympics, but I'm working a lot, so I used to be a spokesperson for Special Olympics.
That's awesome. How many people here are in Special Olympics? Raise your hand if you're in Wells, you're in Special Olympics. Is anyone else? Go ahead. Yeah, Molly's been in Special Olympics for a long time. 18 years. Wow. Okay.
I don't know how long I have. How long, Pam?
A long time. Okay, so we're going to move to a new topic. This one's just for Bradley because he's told me this great story that I thought would be helpful. So Bradley, when I spoke to you last week to prepare for this, you started telling me a story about how you used to, when you were younger, you used to text people like 20 times a day.
Yeah.
And you would get frustrated when they didn't respond, so you just kept like bugging them. Molly might have done, do you think maybe, Molly? Do you think?
Yes.
Yeah. Tammy? Yeah, Tammy? Okay.
Still does.
Might be a theme.
Me too.
Does anyone else do this? Yeah, okay. So Bradley, I'm just curious because you said you really worked on this, and I'm curious to hear kind of your perspective on how you have maybe not done that so much anymore.
I think the value of good friends and patience is that when you have good friends to help you through something, I think waiting for something with somebody with JdVS is so hard. Being patient is so hard. So creating a system for an individual, for myself, that I create a system that's like when I get in text, I wait for a response. And it's people that who have JdVS are all excitable people. We have a lot of high energy, and so in order for me to stop doing what I was doing, I had to have a lot of struggle to get to where I am now, which was basically just be more patient, and a lot of meditation has helped.
Yeah, so now you wait, right?
Now
like
I wait.
You send a text and then you wait.
I don't like repeatedly do it. And the thing that I did, I learned from, I was losing friends, and so I thought there was value in so I talked to myself, and I was like reflective thinking. I was like, what am I doing wrong? And then so I realized I was pushing people away. In order to not have that happen anymore, I just stopped the behavior.
It's really impressive, Bradley. Yeah, it's really impressive. So we're gonna stay with Bradley because I'm gonna move to the next question. Is that okay, Molly? So the next question, or the next topic, is a big one. We're gonna talk a little bit about anxiety. So I wonder how many people in this room, raise your hand if you maybe get anxious sometimes. So I see lots of hands from a lot of people, not just people with JdVS, right?
Wow.
So Bradley, I'm curious kind of how anxiety has showed up in your life. What are some of the things that make you anxious? And if you want to share some of the techniques that you have found to help you with your anxiety.
I think the unknown is a scary place. I've learned from it. I've made it not a weakness, but I've made it consistency. I've learned that when you're in the moment, and I'm always thinking of what I'm going to say next, active listening, I push the thoughts away and being present. And I think that has taught me the value of, for example, when I go on vacation, I'm always thinking, I ask my parents, what are we doing next? What's the plan? Rather than just being present, I would always think about what I was going to say next. And so what I've learned is that my anxiety, even though it's a tool, and in the moment it's really hard for me to understand it, I've learned of it not as something that's a problem, something that we can learn from.
Thanks, Bradley. Wait, I don't know. Yeah, this one's working. Okay, Molly, how about you? Can you tell us about what makes you anxious?
Calm down. When my mom comes over, it's really hard for me. When I get upset, I don't talk to anyone. Talk to people, talk to you, or get help.
Yeah, Molly calls me a lot, like sometimes, and I just listen, right? That helps sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
How about you, Tammy? Tell me about what might make you anxious.
Yes. When we go to, Mom, are you okay? She's standing. When I go to the doctors, when I go to the dentist, I have other meds that I take, but I'm getting better and used to it. I'm not so still anxious. I'm getting that over with it, but I'm still very, 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 very anxious.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm curious. Oh, this is yours.
Okay. Yes. So now we are going to talk a little bit about support. So I know, Bradley, this was on your heart a lot because your parents are very special. So can you tell us how your parents have supported you over the years?
I think doing the research being there for every moment and documenting every moment, following up with doctors. I think being involved from what your child needs is so vital in the life of somebody with JdVS. I think for me, it was that they were always there for every situation, serious, non-serious. I think being there for someone, it really hasn't been impactful.
Okay. And Molly, what are some ways that your family or your caregivers can help support you?
I have a helper that helps me. Morgan is my support person. Then Keely's the second one, and my mom and family can help me too.
And Tammy, how can your family help you at things like maybe a doctor's appointment or something?
They help me when I need help in such as it goes.
Okay, let's see what the next. Okay, so I think we're heading into the last questions here. Bradley, I'm curious if you could tell your younger self something, what would you share?
I would share that you will come out a champion, you will fight adversity, you will have so much struggle that you will learn so much about yourself, and that know that you're a beacon of light, you will shine, and know that whatever you go through, all the hardships, all the, struggles, that because of that, because of all the fighting and all the, stuff, that that because of that, you will learn so much.
Thank you so much. What time is it?
Can I add it?
Yeah, do you want to add something else? We actually are way ahead of time, actually. So, yeah, go ahead, Tammy.
What was I going to add? That what we were talking. When you guys have a happy life, and I will encourage you guys to have moms and dads to encourage your kids to have a happy life.
Yeah, so we have a little bit more time, and if anybody would like to ask our JdVS champions a question, you can get in line maybe, and I see Wells is right up front and has a question.
Chris, you have a question?
So my question is, why does a lot of people get like so many teeth pulled out of the dentist?
Why have you guys? Tammy wants to take this one because she has dealt
I'm
with
not
this.
going to say that. No, thank you.
How can I?
So,
How?
you have trouble with your teeth. Why do we have trouble with your teeth?
I take, the doctor prescribes me with medicine that I take, and they have to kind of put me to sleep for it, but I was out of it. My mom had to call the doctor and tell them about I'm special needs, and she had to get me.
Important to brush your teeth.
Yeah, it's important to, Wills, it's important to brush your teeth, please. Louder?
Really? No.
So yes, that's one thing that I don't know if everybody has encountered, but we have definitely encountered that as Tammy has gotten older with the cyclic vomiting syndrome. Something that we hadn't really considered was the toll that it has taken on her teeth. and we've probably had, I don't know, $50,000 in teeth work done over the past 15 years or so because of that. So just one thing of encouragement, obviously if they're sick, it's hard for you to brush their teeth, but even just rinsing out their mouth, that is a huge thing with their young that once you get them not sick and they're sleeping, you don't want to wake them up, you don't want to do anything, but that's definitely something that we learned.
I want it again, sorry. And also, when I was out, they actually, what Will said, but I'm getting a bridge, but they actually did it so quickly, I don't even remember. They said I was awake. I did not even remember one thing about it. I know my mom picked me up, put me in the wheelchair, and I was in the car. And I'm like, I was playing with my nurse's glove at one point. And then after that, I don't remember any part of it. And I felt like I was out. And everybody's like, no, you weren't. You were wide awake and whatnot. And my mom showed me pictures. My mom showed me pictures of it, and I'm like, what? Really? She put a frog on. I like stuffed animals, and I like blankets so I can stay warm and snuggly. Sorry.
Everybody gets a joke.
Sorry.
How about our next question?
So if you have questions, come
It can be adults. Adults, is there something that you would like to know, you want to talk to them about?
I think, Theo, do you have a question?
Guys, you can, you been an airplane before?
Have you been on an airplane before?
Yes.
Okay. No, you can answer.
So I got a bad experience with airplanes because I got really scared with turbulence, and I found out that I'm learning a lot from the boat waves, but I'm a little bit scared, but I do take a new medicine, not Valium, but it helps me out a lot, and I got bad experiences.
Oh, wait.
No, you.
Oh, yeah.
Been on an airplane?
Yeah.
Wait, Bradley, can you share, can you tell about your trip down here? Did you travel by yourself? Can you tell about your trip down here?
Yeah. I traveled by myself from New York and navigated an airport, and I like to get places early because it gives me less anxiety. I'm always an hour early somewhere, and so I think it taught me, like, going to boarding school has taught me the value of always being on time an hour early, which then is good. So I think it's just, getting that consistent schedule and getting people ready when they're younger and prepared for the future is sometimes, setting like things to teach people to do.
I can do airplanes, but I take 2 kinds of medicine before I go, I take Zofran and Nurtec. That's a good medicine for my tummy and so I don't throw up, vomit like you guys sometimes do. Sorry to say, but yes.
Will you dance with me, Tammy?
Yes. Later, when we're done. We're not done yet.
It's a good question, Daniel.
Yes, I know. Help me.
I think Chris.
Mommy, help.
I am so impressed with the journey that you have traveled to become the adults that you are. So what would be a journey, a new adventure that you really want to go on? Disregarding the plane travel or any of that, where would you really like to go and who would you like to go with?
I think that's a great question. I think, life is like a journey. So I'm thinking about, present moment, and I'm thinking about, you're asking about like the future or where I would like to go. I think for me, I've learned I like staying in the present, and I think being able to enjoy every single moment in the moment. So to answer your question, I think now. I think I enjoy now because I think every moment is so vital and information is so important. And so I think, what we're doing here is so impactful for many individuals. And I think being able to, this is JdVS is a beacon of hope for so many family members. And so being able to say that I appreciate today and every day, but especially today.
So have you heard the Queer Eye show with the 4 boys? So I found, we emailed them, but they haven't called us back. So there's a farm with the girl and has a boy that has autism and has like these animals. You can go with them to pet them with a disability, and I want to be swimming with the dolphins someday.
I want to go to Key West because that's where we go for lobster season. And let me tell you a little, sorry, I'm going to take it off, but a little short how we go and catch the lobsters. I used to help my mom and dad in the water, not no more. I'm kind of scared and frightened. So I'm what's called the first mate on the boat. That means is when my mom and dad and Candy go, what on the boat is we have 2 ropes. We throw 2 ropes out the back, and then they get their mask and snorkel and fins and a net and a tickle stick. And it's when one person goes off of the boat and catches a lobster by tickling it out of the net, they come to swim to the boat and hand me the lobster, and so I can measure it, and there you go.
Chris, Ezra has a question, I think. Oh, wait. Chris, can you turn it on?
5 minutes.
Okay.
Yeah.
18.
Go ahead. What's your question, Ezra?
It's on.
Have you ever been on a boat?
Have you been on a boat?
Well, I get nauseous and seasick, yes, but I'm just fall asleep because I can't deal with the motion sickness. So I've been on a boat. I don't enjoy it, but I've learned to say yes to things because there's value when some stuff that I don't enjoy.
I feel the same way as Bradley, but I've been on a boat. I wasn't too happy with the motorboat with my neighbor who was a dentist, and I was a little seasick, but I was on a cruise trip and I really liked it, but I didn't like the rocking of the boat.
You don't need to answer.
We already know you've been on a boat.
Yeah, you've been on a boat.
I'm not going to say what I was going to say.
All right. Does anybody else have any questions? Okay, Sean, do you have a question?
Turn it on. Turn it on.
Hot dog, and bugs.
Do you like trains and bugs?
Do you like trains and bugs?
I love trains and I love bugs.
I like trains because if you heard of the Polar Express, so I live in Polar Express land and Christmas, and then I took the train to Silverton. There's a train, it was a little bit height scenery, but it was really nice, and I don't like bugs.
I do not like bugs, and I think one of these times or days when my mom gets a lot of more, sorry to say, money, we're going to take a train ride.
All right. Yes, go ahead.
And play with Magnetiles.
Do you like to play with magnetiles?
Do you like to play with magnetiles?
When I was living at home with my family, I was about like 8 or 7, and I loved playing with magnet tiles. There's all shapes and sizes, triangles, squares, circles, and the whole idea is genius marketing for people that like magnet tiles.
I have no idea what are mega tiles. I never played with them, so I don't.
Yeah, me too. I don't know what it is neither, so I'm right with my friend Molly.
I say it's teaching kids to be future architects.
It's like the Legos of the future.
Exactly.
Okay.
Do we have time for more questions?
Yes.
We have a few more minutes.
Do you like snakes or spiders?
Do you like snakes or spiders?
I'm arachnophobic, so I prefer snakes because there was a funny story of a spider going down in my job right in front of me. One of my friends passed out, and my boss told me, was like, there are some spiders that are smart, and no, the smart ones hide, the non-smart ones come out.
I have a story about a spider. I went to the butterfly pavilion, and the volunteer said, "Why don't you hold a tarantula?" I hold a tarantula, but I was scared half to death. It didn't bite me. It was really not furry. And then I was at the Milwaukee County Zoo because we were volunteering. I had to dissect on a poisonous snake, and I will never do it again.
I'm going to bypass that because I don't like either one.
Go ahead, Daniel.
Do you like to open Christmas presents?
Do you like to open Christmas presents?
Yes, we do.
I love opening presents.
Me too. I love to open Christmas gifts.
Me too, because I like Santa Claus because I get what I pretty much really want, but I love my Santa Claus. He's really sweet. And also I get cookies too.
I have a question for you kids out here. Do you like animals, or what kind of animals or cats do you have?
Do you want to pass the mic around?
My animal is a little panda.
A panda, okay.
What's your favorite?
Ice cream.
Ice cream. That is one of my favorites also.
What's your favorite?
My favorite animal is a cassowary bird.
Oh.
A cassowary.
Yes. What's your favorite?
A pit bull.
Oh.
Yeah, a pit bull dogs.
Frankie, what's your favorite? What's your favorite animal?
Dog.
Dog.
Like a pit bull?
Huh?
Like a pit bull?
No. Dalmatian.
Nicholas, what's your favorite? It's on, Nick. It's on.
My favorite animal is a tiger.
A tiger.
Okay, I'm gonna suggest everybody to sign the thing for memory.
A giraffe. And ice cream.
I like snakes.
Hey.
Snakes.
Okay.
I like panthers.
Yeah. Hello. So everyone, oh.
Favorite animal? I like dogs.
Dog.
Horses.
Okay. Oh, Lord.
Back to the panel, but thank you. Back to
Okay,
you, Bradley.
We're gonna wrap it up now.